Hey, hey. Today I want to talk about resistance. Oftentimes, when I'm working with clients, and especially corporate clients who we're not necessarily doing a complete one on one deep dive on everything, they find that when they're trying to shift their emotional intelligence, the way that they think about things, the empowering position that they step into instead of the disempowering one that they've been living in, sometimes for decades, right? I mean, like if you're 40-ish, like I am, I was programmed for decades to be in this negative scarcity mindset. And when you shift out of that, what happens is your brain over the course of those decades develops neural pathways. And those neural pathways in your brain all connect. And what that does is it almost establishes like a cow rut in your brain where it becomes almost law. Like this is what you must believe. This is why you've proven it to us over and over that this is why you should believe it. And so those neural pathways get really locked and loaded, and it's hard to unwire those and get out of that cow rut. And so what happens when people are actively working on that, when I'm actively working with my clients and we're shifting into that, they'll do great for a little bit and then they'll slip back and they're like, whoa, why? Why does this happen? And it's resistance because not only are your neural pathways set up that way, it's harder to ride the bike out of the cow rut, right? It's rough, there's bushes, there's rocks, there's bumps, there's logs. When you're in the cow rut, it's a smooth sailing, right? And that's what happens with your brain. And what also happens is that your body physiologically gets addicted to there's a cascade of chemicals that get released when you get in an argument, when you're road raging, when you're screaming at your kid over something, when your body can become addicted to those unhealthy emotions. So not only are you combating the mental aspect, your body has a muscle memory, if you will, that's very comfortable in that space. And it literally is like a drug addict where you're starting to crave and you're hungering for some kind of chaos. So it releases those chemicals in your body so you can feel alive again. Okay, so this is something that often happens, and I just wanted to explain that to people because it's often a question that they ask, where why isn't it easy to get over this? I know I shouldn't be doing this. I know better now, yet I seem to find myself right back here. Your brain is like a muscle. You have to work it out at the gym all the time. If you aren't actively working your mind out and actively taking control of where your thoughts go and what you're thinking about yourself, you will default to this. It's proven. You absolutely will default to that. So as you do that, though, it's just like when you go to a gym, the first time you jump on that treadmill, when you haven't been there for 6 months, you're huffing and puffing and you can hardly get a step in front of the other. After you've been doing it for 2, 3, 4 months, you're rocking and rolling like a boss. And that's exactly what happens with this mindset work. And so people get frustrated and it can be challenging. And that's exactly why I love to do this, because I get to walk them through those challenges and they get to the other side. So hopefully that helps you face your resistance and get after it anyway.